Good evening, everyone. I am DM CoGo, and we are 20 Sides to Every Story, and we are on our third session now,
Whoa,
right?
thanks
Third,
for the
yep.
gems, man!
Third session of Out of the Abyss. A story of innocent people being put in terrible situations and doing terrible things to get out
Whoa,
of those
thanks for the
situations.
gems, man!
20 Sides to Every Story is a group of really open to anyone who's interested. If you like what you see for any of our games, we invite you to follow our Twitch channel and join our Discord channel. Twitch channel lets you see when we're on the air, and then the Discord channel is it's active pretty much all times a day. And it's a great group of gamers. We mostly focus on Dungeons and Dragons, but quite a few of our group branch out into other RPGs. And so, if that interests you and you're looking for a place to hang out, we encourage you to join us. For those of you who have watched for a while, we encourage you to subscribe or to support the channel, the Twitch channel, or join our Patreon. Alex runs a community campaign um, for the channel, and members who subscribe to the Patreon get first dibs on the slots for that. It's run in a episodic manner, pretty much once a week, every Friday night. And then those who support the channel, uh, they are able to get in when there's open slots. Currently, we are doing the Adventurers in the Community campaign, I believe, are Out of This World and Out of Any World, really. They are a few miles above the Forgotten Realms, or sorry, you guys aren't in the Forgotten Realms.
Whoa, thanks for the gems,
A
man!
few miles above the planet in Baldman Games redo of uh, Expedition to the Barrier Reefs.
Yeah.
So
And starting this month, we're gonna have Lost City starting up in October. So that's probably a good time to come on board if you're thinking about getting in on one of those, because it'll be all brand new level 1 characters. You don't need to know nothing about anything that's come before.
Um, another way to help is by apparently joining this hype train. The hype train is, I think, a first for our campaign here. I don't remember seeing it earlier. So thanks to everyone who is making that train a running. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks for the gems, man!
I'm going to. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give a slight review of what's happened so far.
Whoa, thanks for the gems,
and then give you a prompt to tell us a little bit about your character. So our 5 adventurers, as well as another large cast of characters, found themselves trapped in a drow prison deep beneath the earth. And they've spent the last 2 sessions basically planning how to break out. One of the drow seemed to be willing to help them out. One of the drow named Shore, who was in a leadership position there, perhaps for his own reasons, and he assisted. And then a short time later, there was a drow named Shore, who was in a leadership. 2 groups of demons who began fighting right near the outpost, and their environmental buzzing actually caused quite a bit of damage to the outpost and the denizens of the outpost, who are struggling to make sure that these demons stay far away. This was just the break that the adventurers needed. They snuck out of their prison cell. They successfully ran back and found much of their equipment, but not all. And they, having done that, they decided they were going to plunge over the edge of this fortress outpost, which was about 100 feet above the floor of the cavern that they are in. So when we left the adventurers, they just jumped off and they were quickly flying towards a set of very strong spider webs, hoping that would stop their fall. So why don't we go around, and I'd like you to introduce your character, and then since their life is flashing before their eyes, tell us some quick anecdote that they see, some happy memory, some sad memory, something like that, as they are flying down towards their rocky ground below.
before their eyes.
Start with Dolphix.
Tell us some
quick anecdote that they
Okay,
see.
hello.
Some
I'm
happy memory,
Dolphix.
some sad
Nice to
memory,
meet you all.
something like that,
Um,
as they are flying down.
So as I am plummeting down
Start with Dolphix.
from the heights of our prison,
Okay,
I'm
hello.
getting flashbacks of
Nice to meet you all.
not too long ago, returning
as I am
to my master's home and finding just bodies scattered everywhere. A vast battle having taken place, and just the memory of me shocked and running to and fro thinking, is this it? Is this it? And that is what is going through my head. Yes.
Drazzle.
Drazzle, he's a lizard man, cleric, but worshipped sun from early age. And as he's making this jump, he's thinking, I wonder if the soup is at the bottom. I wonder where it comes from and when we will have it again. As he holds one hand on his head to keep his soup bowl hat together.
All right. Jason.
Jason is a halfling, and as a halfling, observant halfling, as she's falling, she is remembering the first time she was made to fight in the arena, and the fear and exhilaration that came with it is not dissimilar
thanks for
to
the
this
gems, man.
falling sensation now.
Okay. Zalm.
As I begin to make my descent, I think about just all the ambitions that I had, all the things that I wanted to do, and just willing myself into saying this is not the end for Zalm. I will make it back, and I will make these drow pay for their transgressions.
Okay, I like it. Last but not least, Vic.
Yeah, so I'm Vic Valentine, half-elf bard, and it truly is an exhilarating feeling right now, falling as we are into this body of water. Not the first time Vic has found himself falling from a tall place into a body of water. You know, I've got an older brother and sister, and this is a very common kind of thing. You know, Vic, you know, go on up there to that cliff. Look over there. You know, the sight's beautiful. Push. And I go falling in. It was a thrill. It was so much fun. So I have lived through a lot of sibling hazing that has prepared me for this descent.
Sounds horrible.
So as you jumped off, Ilvara, who is the head of this drow outpost, she commanded her deputy to hunt you down. And so he began to run across the platform towards you. You also still hear in the air the buzzing of the demonic incursion as the two groups of demons actually fight against each other, trying to take each other down. I am going to need all of you to immediately make me either make me an acrobatics check to try to grab onto one of the spider strands, or come tell me what you're doing to prevent yourself from suffering a really, really short session.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Thinking of the times he's jumped into the water and he's seen other lizards. They jump out like belly flop to get really spread. So he is arms spread, lizard spread, tail out, trying to make himself as big as possible as he flattens himself towards the fall.
So you're not going to try to grab anything.
I am, but I'm trying.
Okay.
That's the thing I'm doing extra.
Okay.
Instead of like going head first, try to plunge through.
Got it. Make me a acrobatics.
Certain this will succeed with that description.
Yep. And then I'm missing someone. I'm missing Zaum.
Yes. As a little narrative, it's moments like these. Wish he didn't forsake. Sometimes wish he didn't forsake his oath to Paylor, for when he did, he tore off his wings. And now, as he plummets, he says, "Well, I hope the strength of Bane allows me to catch this this spider strand." And do I have to roll acrobatics? You say?
Acrobatics. Yep.
Can it be athletics though?
So it can be, but it's going to be at disadvantage, and I'll explain why when you do it.
That's better than acrobatics, even at disadvantage. So let's see. Did it roll for me? Oh shoot! Hold up. I think I.
Yeah, I know you just installed it, so don't worry. Just take your time. So for the group of the rest of you who are using acrobatics, you are able to basically you grab on to one of the spider strands, and it's pretty sticky, so it's actually pretty easy to hold on to, but it's stretchy. And you immediately, as you pull it, you realize that it is stretching straight down towards the stalactite that one of the stalactites that the outpost is built off of. And you realize you have to sort of bend and twist as you sort of swing straight towards the stalactite, and all of you manage to avoid hitting it. Zaum, you actually, in order to brute this out, you actually have to grab onto two strands so that you avoid sort of the swinging aspect of this, and you're able to do so. So you are now about maybe 40 feet above what you can now see is the water below. And let me move you over to the to our map. And just as a reminder, you guys, there's two profiles of this map. There's the above one, which is probably what I'm going to be using more. But there is the side view below. And so check that out. And so what you see is this. You're between, if you remember correctly, you guys were over, make sure I'm on the right layer. Yep. You guys were over here. This was your prison cell. Half the party, or half the group of prisoners, immediately jumped when they got out. You guys, however, you went over with Sareth, who was the drow, who was one of the prisoners who happened to be a drow. And so the six of you actually just did this jump into the web. What you see is the other large group are a little bit away from you, and you see them slowly climbing down the web into the water below, or getting close enough where they can jump into the water. You guys have a little bit of a way to go, and you're also a little bit off of them. Is there anything, you can still hear the buzzing above you, and you can still hear some of the shouts of the drow. You don't particularly see, not sure, the other dude, I'll think of his name in a minute. The drow who, sorry?
Jolnar?
Yep. You don't see anyone above you at the moment. It's not, there's not enough of the web around you to get stuck in it, but it is not the easiest thing in the world to move through. But you guys can see where you can slowly make your way down.
I'll just
Go ahead.
sorry, is that going to eat our action and our movement to work our way down?
Well, I'm not putting you in combat at the moment. So, what do you want to do?
We're actively doing that. That's going to take all of our efforts to work through it.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be hard to do anything else while you're up in these webs.
Yeah, I'm just climbing down as fast as possible.
Okay.
So one of my weapons is a whip. Can I use that to sort of
Like
catch
fly?
bits of it and drop down in chunks?
You can. They crisscross enough that you can't go super far. But yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay. Then
make
I'll
it a
do
little
that to
bit
try to
smoother.
speed it up a little bit.
It also helps with your height, like where you can't quite get to, something that the others are easily grabbing within reach.
Yeah, great.
So as you start to move down, you start to hear shouts from the group over here, who some of which are in the water already below, and you can hear them and immediately realize that they are engaged with something. You have no idea what. You can't see anything. Those of you who don't have dark vision definitely can't see anything, but they are tussling with something that's actually in the water.
Well, that's not good.
And
That's not good at all.
as you slowly make your way down, I would like all of you to roll me some initiative.
Oh gosh.
So click our token first.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
My token is not
Reflectors.
selectable.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Let me, because you have tokens. Jason. Really?
Yeah, I can't select mine either.
Yeah. I was about
Alright.
to say, see.
I can roll initiative, but I can't do it with select the token.
Token there. You guys are all Dolphix. I understand why. Didn't do it. Dolphix, can you now?
I cannot.
What's going on? Any ideas? You guys are in the player journals. Can edit, control.
Are we on the right layer?
Yes.
Because if I on the player list on the journal, if I click my character, I'd have to create him. There's a character.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're just looking for the token. We're not using that in the journal at all.
And what does it say when you double click the token?
So if I double click, for instance, oh, got it. Thanks.
Okay.
I see what I did. I did not fill in. Who did I just click on? Zaum, you should be able to.
I love the
Now.
learning how to work with
There we go.
Who did I just click on? Vic, you're next. Should work starting now.
Okay.
Dolphix should work starting now. That's Sareth. That's none of you. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Dolphix. That was someone else.
You gave me Jason.
Yeah, I did. Thanks. Jason. Oops.
Yep, got it.
Sorry. Dolphix, I think you are good now.
Yep.
Shirazzle, you should be good now.
in business.
Can anyone not do it? Will someone remind me to put name plates on these two between sessions?
We'll do it.
Break. Thanks. Jason.
We're just missing Zaum in initiative.
Yeah, and Sarah.
Oh yeah, hold up. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, did I do it twice? I hope not.
Yeah, you did. Your
good,
first
but-
roll was much better.
Yeah.
15. All right. So as you guys start making your way down, and we're going to theater of the mind this just so we don't have to do vertical distance, and you're also in this sort of, you start to feel the strands of the spider web move, and you see coming down the many eyes gleam off of some of the torchlight.
Okay.
Where's this number?
Oh god.
As you see another one of these giant spiders, hungry and slobbering towards you. Let me see if I can fix this right now.
So we weren't the ones who killed his partner.
Spider sounds an awful lot like a child.
Sorry, that's my son in the background. That would probably be even more creepy if the spider sounds like a child coming down the web.
Yes, yes, it would.
A small, tiny baby doll head.
Oh gosh.
No.
It's the spider baby from Toy Story.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Image.
Hey Ed, do you remember where do I stop hiding my rolls? Is it outside of the game?
Yeah, it's in the game settings.
Okay, I'll do during break. So I'll be painfully obvious about this. Okay.
If Casey was here, he could tell you how to do it just in game, because I know he's changed it without leaving, but I haven't seen him.
So first up is who's that? That's Vic.
It clearly this spider is descending upon our group. It's like above
Absolutely.
us.
On you guys specifically, yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I'm all out of spell slots. I don't have any tricks there, so I think, help me to kind of understand how we're getting down out of this spider web. Is it like kind of layered? Like there's different, like we're dropping down
Right.
from layer to layer? Okay.
Like imagine like sheets sort of draping, like almost like a staircase back and forth. They eventually get to a point where you could drop down safely, but they don't quite touch the ground.
Okay. Is it the kind of thing, can I like hack and slash to like cut a piece of web so that I can drop down to like the next layer?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to cut.
I think that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay. Make me I think a good old fashioned athletics check. As you try to. Okay, so you managed to cut, and let's say you are all at the 30 feet level right now, and you could try to jump, but you're going to take that damage in between until you get to the 10 feet layer, in which case you can safely jump into the water. So Vic, you've managed to get some, but not a lot. So I'm going to put you at the 25 layer. So you're still kind of stuck up there. And I'm going to say that's your action. Is there anything else you want to do?
Nope, that'll just be I see that thing and I don't want to deal with another one, so I'm just going to furiously hack and slash to try to get my way down.
Okay. Next up, Zaum.
All right. So yeah, that thing's above us, right?
Yeah, it's above us, above you coming down.
Okay. And how far away am I from like the water or the ground?
You're 30 feet up. You'll take damage if you tried to move around and jump off here. If you can get down to 20, but it's difficult terrain, and it's difficult terrain.
All right. I'm just gonna keep climbing down and hope for the best.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep on climbing.
So I'm going to say that you got down 10 as a result of that. Just because you can't go straight down.
Right.
And so you're going to be at 20. All right. Drazzle.
So, am I understanding right? If we take a movement action, we drop a bit, but if we take movement, and I'm trying to figure out what everyone else is doing. They're just trying to get away, use the movement and their action.
Everyone is trying to get, leave, yeah.
Okay. I'm just following the crowd. I'm trying to get below everybody else.
Okay. Are you trying to do anything special or no?
I'm working my way through I laid myself out flat. Now I'm trying to kind of cut some of the things off with my little claws and trying to hold on to one like a little rope and drop a little lower.
Okay. Okay. So you are able to get down 10 feet as well. So you're at 20. So those of you who, if you keep doing that, unless you're somehow disabled from doing that, if you keep doing that, you will be able to, at the 2 rounds from now, you'll be able to drop into the water below. Jason.
I'm going to try to drop near the edge of the web,
Okay.
toward the water, and try to catch the lowest level with my whip to stop myself before I hit it.
All right. Okay. I am going to say you're going to make an attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it a 14 AC.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration to negate the disadvantage.
Okay.
See if I can remember how to do it. Oh, I'm in equipment. That's why I can't do an attack. There we go.
Oh, so no problem. So the rest of you just see Jasa do something truly extraordinary. Sort of edges off the border where the webs end, and just starts to jump and turns around, flicks her whip, and you see it catch enough that most of the downward movement actually causes a swing, and she is able to fly into the water below. And so you are down at the level of the water.
Okay. Then with the move, I'm just going to try to get to the edge and get out.
Okay. I'm going to say next round you can actually be on the land.
Okay.
With
Great.
just moving. Dolphix.
Quick me now. I'm gonna go do the same thing as everyone else and just use my movement in action.
Okay.
Get down.
So you're down at 20 as well.
Well, I'm small though, so my speed is 25 feet. Not sure if
Okay.
it will matter.
Make
That
me
probably means you can slip through different cracks in the web, though, right?
Yeah.
make me an acrobatics check. If you get above a 10, I'll give you 10 movement. If you get below, I may give you 5.
All right.
Perfect. Okay, you're down at 20 level. It is the spider's turn. So I think the highest one up is actually Sareth, who rolled poorly. So the spider descends a short distance away from Sareth. And you see this. Ooh, totally misses. And then uses nope. So next round it would be able to get to most of you at the 20-foot level.
Are you using Beyond 20 for your attacks, or are those all in roll 20?
All in roll 20 because that's where
Okay.
the character people. So
Because I could tell you
no,
how to not whisper from Beyond 20 without having to leave anything.
Yeah, I just need a chance to look at it. I completely forgot to do it.
Yeah.
So as you guys are talking or something, I'll look for it. So the spider moves down. Next round. So the spider rolled an 8, so did not hit. Sareth turns around, Sareth's rolls are also whispered at the moment. I'll fix that. Turns around and he did grab a short sword and a hand crossbow while he was up there. And you see him cast fairy fire. So you see him start to verbalize something in Undercommon, and his voice starts to echo, and you can feel the power of his voice actually in the strands of web around you.
Mm.
And you see dexterity saving throw. Let's see if this works for the spider. He makes it. It just sort of fails. And Sareth tries to move down as well, away from the spider. All right, Vic.
The spider. What is going on with the spider and Sareth? Is he managed to put some distance between himself?
So
and
basically, based on how fast the spider moved, as he closed in on you, the group of you who are at the 20-foot level or higher, the spider will be on.
Mm.
Okay, but it's not like directly on Sareth quite yet.
No, Sareth, they're maybe about 15, 20 feet away from each other. He was close enough to cast fairy fire, but not yet.
Okay, I'll just continue to hack and slash then. Kind of keeping an eye on Sareth because he's part of the family too. So I'm staying. If he's in peril, I'm going to help him out. But it sounds like he's kind of holding his own right now. So I'll keep hacking and slashing him.
Make me another athletics check. Hopefully, you can do better than last time. Oh, okay.
I can't do better than that.
So, in fact, you slash so much. Make me a quick, easy acrobatic or athletics check to catch yourself from falling the rest of the way.
Oh gosh.
So, what did I say? You are 20?
Hold on.
Can't do worse than that.
Do I
The
do a
reroll.
reroll? Do I do a reroll on that one?
Are you likely to die from falling damage? Then yes.
I've got 5 hit points, so it's
Yeah,
possible.
do a reroll.
Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
I'll use the reroll. It's 33 per night. It's at least 1d6.
All right. You managed to grab a strand that's like from where you cut, like stretched down, and so you're only like 5 feet off the water. If you want to drop into the water, you can, or you can hang where you are for the time being.
The commotion that's happening with there's something in the water that you said the drow were dealing with.
But our
No,
other,
the rest of the
others-
group, all the other
group.
prisoners.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
that's
hear it
just
splashing
over
around.
where those tokens are actually represented. So I'll splash into the
Correct.
water.
Okay, so you're in the water as well. Zal.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to keep running down,
Okay.
and as held action, I'm going to hold my action. If the spider gets close to me, I'm going to use my where the heck is it called? Where did it go? I just had it. Action, sorry. Action. I'm going to use no. Where did it go? My my thingamabobber. The oh, maybe it's an all. To use features traits. Maybe it's in features traits. Yeah, okay. My necrotic shroud, and I'll put that in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it gets, what was the trigger action?
So, once it gets within 10 feet of me, then I will activate my necrotic shroud as I'm running away.
Okay. Got
So I don't want to rain on your parade, but I think you only get that starting at 3rd level.
Oh shoot! Oh god! Oh no, I didn't do that. Oh, okay, never mind. So the action will just be attack. That'll just be my whole action. I completely did not see that. Okay, yeah, I'll just do it a regular attack.
I've made the same mistake, so we're all good.
Ethan, I appreciate you calling our fall through a web to the water a parade.
Some of us are having fun.
Drazzle, what are you up to?
He kind of looks back and he's thinking about the distance to the water and the damage it'll do, and the enemy coming up behind him. And he's going to try and do a heal on himself. So if he accidentally gets dropped into the water, he doesn't die. And he's going to try and do healing word on himself and move whatever he has the ability to do.
Well, healing word's a bonus action, so you can still do a full
Yeah, that's
action
what
and move.
he's just going to do that first and then try to get whatever he can out of it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm back up to 10, and then I'm just going to keep moving my way down.
Keep moving. Okay. So you're at the 10 level.
You're a thick lizard man, level 1.
Do I need to do anything for a roll for working my way through?
Nope. No, because you're just doing the very slow, like back and forth descent. Jason.
So you said I could get out of the water here, so I'm going to do that. Is that just a move, or is that a move and an
That's
action?
just your movement. Yep. That was just
Okay.
going to be your
Then
the same movie.
Then I will get out, and with my action, I'll draw my short bow and ready a shot at that spider if it closes with somebody. So it's actually on them.
Yep. Got it. Dolphix.
I'm gonna keep on chugging along.
Okay.
with
Make me
Drazzle.
that quick or acrobatics, whichever you want. Really.
11.
All right. So yeah, you're able to make it 10 down. So for those of you at 10, at your next round, you can just drop into the water, no problem.
Am I at 10 or I have no idea?
You are at 10 now, but like
Okay.
at the start of your turn.
Next
okay?
turn.
That
Yeah.
would be your move.
That is the plan.
So the spider moves down. Sareth once again is the closest. So the spider actually gets on Sareth.
I'm going to fire then.
Okay.
I'm going to miss, though.
Nope. Flies
No.
past. The spider leans in and tries to bite and hits with a 19. Second, sorry, let me click. Sorry. He's going to take 5 points of damage, and then he has to make a Constitution saving throw. He makes his Constitution saving throw, so that's it. So he is. By the way, Jason, I believe you're poisoned. Does that sound right?
Oh, yep, that's right.
Okay. Just while I'm thinking about it, just because of the
I was
same
able to
reason.
overcome it and do some really cool stuff, but now I feel sick again.
So, alright. So Jason, Sarah is down to. Oh wait, no, what did I just do? Sorry, hold on, 1 second. What the heck's going on here? Sorry. No. Oh, I did it right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sarah turns around and takes his short sword. Oh, let me see, what would he do? He knows spiders well, so he knows he can't blind it. So he's gonna take his short sword and he's just gonna try to jam it into this thing. and he misses with a 7. But he stays where he is. Vic.
I can see my main man here, Smith, needs some little assist. So as I'm in the water, I'm calling up, singing a little ditty. I say, "Hey, old fat spider spinning in a tree. Old fat spider can't kill me. Attercop, won't you stop?" And I'll cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. Wisdom. He got an 11. He fails.
Oh gosh.
Nice. So that's gonna give me. He's gonna take the damage, but really, I was hoping for the disadvantage. Is what I want to help him.
Okay.
anyway.
Great.
If I got some movement, I'll start kind of swimming to land.
Okay, so you drop into the, and you, with the drop, since you were only 5 feet up, you're on
You were
land.
already in the water, weren't you?
Yeah,
I think he
that's
held
what-
on. Right?
No, I splashed into the water.
Okay. Yep. So you are on land. So the two of you who are on land, and some of the others probably, but definitely the two of you are on land, can hear whatever they are dealing with over on the other side. Like, it is not good.
Not fun time.
Zal.
I just go ahead, jump then
Or,
into water.
okay.
Um,
So you're floating in
and
the water. That's your movement. You can get
That's
out of the
my
water next
movement.
round.
okay. And then let's see. Can I spot what the heck they're fighting in the water?
No, you can't. The best you can tell is it's in the water. So like none of you have like a vantage point in which you do see that like by now I think Stool would have gotten out of the water. Shushnyar is sort of yelling for like everyone be calm. Like there's no need for violence. Eldeth is probably very upfront with whatever it is, as is Darendil, and Ront is sorry. Ront's dead. You guys came across the cocooned husk of Ront as you were coming down.
I don't know.
So yeah, you can't quite tell what's going on over there, but there is a tussle in the water. Drazzle.
So the spider has been hit by our drow companion. Would I be able to know that?
He missed. Oh, but he was hit by Vic, but that's about it.
Right, I'm asking, like, as I'm fighting my way down, would you consider I have awareness of what's going on behind me with this thing?
I mean, you make me a perception check. You with disadvantage because you can't see.
Because I don't want to pretend I know something I don't know.
Yeah, make me a perception check. That was my roll. Yep. Yeah, so you can, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna
You're
as
aware.
my action. I'm gonna take my movement to break through, and hit the water. But before I do that, I'm gonna try to toll the dead at the spider up there.
Okay.
Try and hopefully stop it from pursuing us.
It gets a 4. So you hear, and I think it's similar to those of you who are still in the web. You hear like earlier what Asareth was talking about was like a very quick vibration, and now you just hear like deep tones as they vibrate through the web. And you hear
Drazzle's way of doing it, just showing bong bong as he waved his hand at it. So that may be part of the thing you hear.
Okay. Jasa.
Well, I think you've all got this under control, so I'm going to head this way and get to here, and I'm going to throw. I'm going to draw and throw my short sword to Eldath.
Okay. She
None of them
catches
are
it. She's-
armed, correct?
Someone had a knife, and I'll think of who it is in a second.
Well, Topsy and Turvy had knife. Well, one of them had a knife or a fork that they stole from me, but I turn those into thieves' tools.
Right. Someone got a knife though in it. Anyway.
I have a knife.
No, one of the NPCs got one too.
Oh,
I just had to think of who it was. Anyway, I have it in notes. Don't worry. Okay, Eldith is incredibly grateful for that. And
can I see what they're fighting?
so hold on one second, because let me see. This thing has like something crazy on it. Make me a quick perception check. Oh, so okay.
It's a disadvantage.
Not only do you see that they seem to be fighting, like you see between them is some sort of oily substance, but beyond that, you see something that you definitely would have like known about from the surface world, or at least like, you know, you see some sort of ooze in the water with them, and it is like trying to reach out and grab these guys.
Okay, so I moved. My item interaction is to throw the sword. I can still take a shot?
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
I have my bow out.
Yep.
All right,
No
do
problem.
that. I'm going to shoot at the ooze then.
Okay.
Disadvantage. I hit an 8.
Yep. So it actually that's its armor class. You hit it.
Okay. Then that
Nice.
would do 6 damage total.
Okay.
It is engaged with them, so I do get the sneak attack, but it doesn't do me much right now.
Okay. You lose that arrow as it
Yep.
dissolves. But yeah, you see it burn into or go into this thing, and you see like almost like greasy fish chums start to float up from the surface.
I did delete the arrow that I shot at the spider.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna like arrows will be easy. You'll see in a few minutes, but yeah, if somehow
Okay.
you go through 20 right now. Dolphix.
Okay. I'm gonna grab my shield, put it around my chest, and go. Okay. And I'm gonna roll off and fall
All right,
into the water.
you were at 10, right?
I was at 10. Yeah.
Okay. So you are in the water. Next round, you can get on the land. Anything else?
I just look up at Sareth and say, all right, man, I think we're all good. Let's go.
So the spider is up next, and it is going to try to chomp into Sareth again. And this will be at disadvantage. An 11 misses Sareth.
Lucky fella.
Make sure of that. Yep, just misses. 11 misses Sareth. Sareth. Sareth, when you healed someone, that was light? Healing light?
It was a healing word.
Healing word. Okay. So Sareth hears that, and he's just going to jump. So, first thing he does is he tries to run away from the spider. The spider tries to bite him, hits 21.
Mm.
Sareth takes 7 points of piercing damage. And then let me make sure. I apologize that you guys can't see this. I'm going to fix this. Short order. Sareth passes his Constitution saving throw. He moves away from the spider and throws himself off. You hear just a massive slam as he basically belly flops into the water below, and you see him like he goes under the water, and then a short time later his body comes up lifeless. He is unconscious. Dick.
So I'm, sorry. So I'm there at the shore. How far away from me would he be?
Maybe like not far, like 20 feet at most.
Okay. So I'm definitely gonna try to get him. Um, so dive
Okay.
back into the
We'll
water.
say horizontally this map is fine. Like now that you are all in the surface level,
Hmm.
like this will be now a proper tactical map.
Okay. So he's like right there then.
Yep.
Okay. So then I'm gonna. I imagine the water would be like difficult terrain then.
Yeah, it's going to be half movement unless you have a swim speed.
So I probably can only like get out to him then with like my dash and such. But I'm gonna
Right.
try to grab him, wrap him up, and like carry him back to shore.
Okay. So the next round you'd be able to drag him on to shore, I think. Yeah, because next round you'd be able to yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm recognizing that my lizard folk friend might be a little bit more equipped to take him, so I might be like trying to drag him and maybe like pass him off if it's going to be quicker to resuscitate him that way.
Yeah, you could. Let's see. So if you move to the water, you would use 20 feet. You'd have 10 left, so you can move him 5 in any direction you want.
Okay, so maybe that's what I'll be kind of doing is trying to like hand him over to.
So he's here.
Drazzle.
To Drazzle. Zone.
So I'm going to immediately head to shore. I'm just wading through the water, just sword, great sword above the head. Get on the shore and survey what we have. What exactly I'm looking at? Who's in the water? Who's out the water?
So you see most of the group over on the other side in the water, fighting including Jason, sort of engaged with something. You don't know what it is yet. Here you can see above you, about 20 feet up, is the giant spider. It's about 15 feet horizontal and then 20 feet up. And then you see Dolphix, Vic, and Drazzle. Vic just jumped back in and swam past you. And I think now you realize why when you see Sarah's sort of like doll-like body like floating in the water, lifeless.
I just snarl and I say, "Come on, it's time to go. We don't have time for hero antics. Let's go. Get out the water."
Behind.
This isn't a soldier crystal movie, boy.
Come on! He needs our help!
Get back to the boat if you want to live.
Yeah.
So,
He
So,
knows
yes.
these tunnels better than anyone.
I'm like, he does?
Thankfully true.
That is actually true. Well,
That
get
is
him then.
very
Hurry up.
All right!
Okay. I didn't know that part. Wait a minute. He's valuable?
yes, utility.
All right. Anything else, Al?
Yeah, I just unsheath the sword now. Try to rest it on my waist belt, and I'm just standing ready for any enemies that come towards me on the shore within striking distance. I hit, so that would be my ready action.
Okay. Drazzle.
So at this point, we have seen Vic has suddenly swum towards me and shoved this unconscious drow at me.
Correct.
Okay. I go, why drow? Why dark man? What need? And I start to try and grab hold of him, and using my tail to swish as a treading water technique to hold him up. But I still see the spider, and I go, bong, bong, and I try to hit him once again with a little bit of pain.
Are you attempting to drag Sareth out of the water completely?
No, he's just been shoved into my arms. I've taken him.
You can do both, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing hold of him and trying to hit the thing and drag him out of the water as much as I can.
Yep. Roll me a dong dong. That you saw that, right? That
Yeah.
right? So this is a nightmare situation because it's per character sheet. So hopefully there's a better way to do this.
What?
He fails, so he takes. Actually, you know what? Scott. Oh no, that worked. Okay, so he takes 6 points of damage, and you see it like one of its legs does that like dead spider thing where it's like completely curled up, and so completely useless to the spider. Jason.
I will continue to try to assist with this creature, this thing in the water. I'll shoot at with the short bow. Hits 16.
Absolutely. Yep.
For 10 points of damage.
So between you and Eldeth with the sword, while you were, you are able to basically kill it this round, and you see it sort of float into its parts, and the group of them will slowly move away.
And last time we knew which tunnels we were all heading to.
Yeah. So yep. So you guys, the way it had been decided before was that a group of you was going west to Slubadope, led by Shushnar, and then the other group was headed to Gracklstow, led by Pupito.
Great.
Dolphix.
Okay. Okay, Dolphix is going to move onto shore. And he's gonna drop his shield and turn around with his short bow. Can he fire an arrow at the
spider? Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
You can see in the dark, right?
Yep, I got dark vision.
It was fairy fired up there, so the thing's in light. It's just
it didn't. It failed it. I'm sorry.
It's not. So you don't have advantage from it, but fairy fighter also creates light.
Oh, right. Good point.
So even if
you are absolutely right. So regardless, it hits.
Does Fairy Fire still work if he's unconscious?
Oh no.
Oh, you're right. It's concentration, so no, it'd be gone.
Yeah, so it's gone.
No.
You see the spider another into its fleshy abdomen, and you see now the spider is incredibly hesitant to do anything, and it takes its move, and you see it move up into the webs, and it disappears into the darkness to plot your demise another day.
I think now is the time to retreat, young Vic.
Now we've got a nemesis.
And it disappears. So you all are able to get out of the water, and you head over to the rest of the group. You now hear in the distance the sound of the lift being slowly pulled into action.
With Sareth in the state that he's in, can I assess whether he's bleeding out, dying, or did he just get knocked out from the impact?
He's unconscious. He will return in 2 hours.
Okay, he's not actively dying.
He's not actively dying. you will be forced to move at slow speed if you're in a group. Carrying.
I'm going to draw one of my daggers and give it to Jim Jar, and say
Okay.
your group will need something. So take this.
He looks at you, and Jim Jar is like, I told you everything would be all right.
Well, we can make it more all right. Take this with you. Someone can use it.
And he looks over at Vic, right? And if I'm not misremembering this, and he says, "Don't worry, I'll find you shortly for that money you owe me."
If we get out of here alive, I'll gladly pay you every coin, every bit, twice over. But first, we gotta get out of here.
And he points over to the exit to the west, and he says that's your ticket to safety that way. But I'm afraid we're going a different direction.
He's pointing to the south.
Sorry?
You said he's pointing to the south?
No, to the west. Oh,
The west is where we're going. So yeah, I'm gonna remove one of my daggers because I'm sending it with them.
okay.
Drazel, I know maybe it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but Sarah, we made this pact together. We need to help him out. If you help me carry him, my next 5 soups are all yours.
No. Dark men know Darkland. We keep Darkman. He like map. Yes?
Yeah, if that's what's gonna sell this, absolutely, he's useful.
I carry map. I get extra food because I carry a map. Hard
For
work.
sure. Yeah, right? I mean,
Map heavy.
I can't predict what the future holds in terms of soups and stews and such, but by all means, they're yours.
I get your
racking up debt, coin, and food.
I take my bowl and I tap it twice. Deal. Soup for map.
I'll rub the bowl a little bit. Yeah. Steal the deal here. Arm, try to drape one of his arms around my shoulders, and presumably Drazel got the other.
We're not going to weaken it. Bernie's it. I don't think that's going to work out.
You hear a loud buzzing, like fly
Let's
through
go.
the darkness.
Let's move.
I think that's our cue, fellas.
Andiamo.
We should go.
Hayde.
This group sort of hugs this wall, and you hear, sort of as they disappear in the darkness, you can hear Pupito's voice talking about himself.
Pupito.
As they hug that wall.
We're in the right group.
The nine of you, which still seems like an unreasonable number for a party. The 9 of you run in, and it's actually weird when you first run into this tunnel, which is only about only 2 of you at once can go side by side.
Before we get into the tunnel, I'm like, for crying out loud, I slap the unconscious guy on the back and give him 1 point of health so he can wake up.
Flick open, and you hear him just take this deep breath, and he looks around, and he realizes that you guys are out of the water, out of the webs, and you hear him just let a sigh, and he can hear, all of you can hear the sound of the lift. All of you can hear the sound of the drow above, and he says, "We have to run. They'll be on us within seconds."
Map man, you carry self. We follow. Run.
As you get into the tunnel, the first thing you hear is the sound, the cavern echoed, right? So sounds like the buzzing just sounded like buzzing was coming from everywhere. And so you walk into the tunnel, and you you were relieved. Like the sound is like the din has dropped quite a bit.
Mm.
And as you move maybe like 50, 60 feet in the tunnel, you do breathe sighs of relief until suddenly you hear a buzz again, getting closer and getting closer. And something in the darkness above you flies over you. And then you hear a plop in front of you and a very low buzz.
Like a bird poop? Plop.
D-
I'm gonna need you
That ain't no poop.
all roll initiative again.
Oh my gosh, not again.
I'm gonna put you guys basically in the order you guys, so where I'm standing you at the moment. So in other words, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that this tunnel is 2 feet wide.
Very narrow.
Yep. Sorry.
10 feet wide, 2 squares wide.
Yeah. Did I say 2 feet?
Yeah.
Been a
Oh,
very,
God.
very long day.
2 feet is fine. Is fine for me. I'm a halfling.
I
If
think
you
we
ask-
chose the wrong tunnel.
Or the right one for you and me, Dolphix.
So ahead of you, you see one of these demons flew in. It is incredibly wounded. One of its wings is broken, and it is looking at you just like seething, but it is blocking the passage in your direction. And you can hear its buzz, but it's nowhere near.
And this is not one of the
Yeah, it wasn't
insect ones. This is one of the.
Yeah, this was not the buzzard. And it just looks at you, and it is blocking the path towards you. Dolphix, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm gonna. Can I squeeze to the front?
Where are you? I actually can't.
I'm bright blue.
So
5, 10, 15, 20. Can I get like right up?
hold
to
on,
it?
let me. I don't know if Stool might be tiny. Nope, he's small. So yeah, you could get here if you wanted.
Yeah, I want to get right up to it.
Okay.
And I'll take out my rapier.
Okay.
Say, be gone, fiend! Don't you see that we have somewhere to be? And I'm going to attack.
Do it. That hits.
Palpably.
I think in fact, you just slice into it, and you basically like simultaneously put it out of its misery, but also you hear as your sword plunges into its essence and into its soul. You just hear what sounds like the screams of anguish coming out of it, and you just see it sort of like plop into the ground. And its body mass starts to shudder and bubble, and you can see it like losing its consistency, consistency. Like it starts to ooze, and as you can see, as it's returning to planes to which it belongs, and the pathway is clear.
Good riddance.
They're saying no chicken wings.
Well done, Dolphix.
So, and as Sareth, you hear him yelling again and being like, "Run, bastards, run!" And you take that as an excuse to keep going. You plunge into the darkness of the Underdark, not knowing what the hell is about to happen, and how the hell you're going to get back up. So we're going to take a break a little early, just because now is the perfect time for them to level up, and we'll do that off camera, just to make it go fast. And then we will be back, I'm going to guess, in about 10 minutes. Thank you guys for hanging with us. You're going to come back and see these guys a slight bit stronger than they were. Now is the time, people on camera, the group knows, but the people on in the audience do not know. They are allowed to use reroll tokens for hit point movements. Only once, but they can do it. So, if you're feeling generous, feel free to go to the XP store and send buy inspiration or buy inspiration for the whole group. Those are rerolls here in our group here. So, anyway, we will see you back in a few minutes, and we will continue this next part of the journey. All right. Thanks, guys, for sticking around and watching us. Our characters are now level 2 after having successfully evaded, for now, the drow prison, and they have headed off into the darkness of the Underdark. The Underdark is not at all like traveling on the surface, and so there's no straight line in any one direction. Thankfully, they did actually revive Sareth, and so Sareth is pretty much the only one, maybe Jimjar and maybe Rapido, who know most of the area that we're talking about, that they need to travel through. And so for those, I didn't explain it too much, but the group actually split into two. The player characters in one group, and then some of the prisoners actually went off in a different direction. The plan is, in 40 days from now, that they will meet in a city of the Duragar named Gracklestone. The other group was headed directly there, while the players and their characters were headed towards a small outpost of Koatoa on Dark Lake. The name of that town is Slubadop. They know it's about 8 days away, but that 8 days requires successfully traveling through the Underdark. And so now starts a little bit of a wilderness minigame, for lack of a better term, which I'll narrate a little bit. But let's get us through the first night at least. The group of you just start running, and it is impossible to describe the complexity of the Underdark. Tunnels will split, one will go under the other one, and there's no rhyme or reason. You realize that if you did not have Sareth, you guys would be absolutely lost, with no hope of knowing which direction would actually take you in any towards it. You would be entirely dependent on running into someone else traveling, and so yeah. Sareth is very, very insistent that the drow are behind you, that they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that you are caught again and you are dragged back to be the slaves that they intend you to be. And so he pushes you. He pushes you pretty hard. There's no night or day down here. But in terms of when you woke up, you are really, really feeling the exhaustion start to set in. And as you go, at a certain point, he finally says, okay, we rest, but we only rest because we need to continue moving as fast as possible to Slubadop. Go ahead.
Sareth, by the way, I'm really happy that you're with us and among us. You know, you took quite a tumble back there, and you've proven, you know, it's good that we waited for you. We would be totally lost without you. But I have to ask, how do you know that the drow didn't go after that other group? Why are you so sure they're coming after us?
And he looks at you and he says, I'm sure they went after the other group, and they're after us. There's enough of them to send scouting parties until they figure out where we are.
Well, a fair number of them were unconscious when we left.
Sorry?
a fair number of them were unconscious when we left.
Yes. And it only takes 2 or 3 of them to follow us. We need to make as much distance as possible.
Hmm.
They'll stay away from settlements that are non-drow settlements.
Is there a way to cover our tracks?
And you see Eldith sort of like size you up, like this was a good idea. And Eldith says, "Hi, we need to try to cover our tracks as much as possible." Sareth says, "As long as it doesn't slow us down." Um, and you've all been talking openly, like out loud. And as you sort of, as you find sort of a pocket where you can sort of hide yourself in, the stool bursts out his spores, and so you can all start talking telepathically, at least for the next hour. And so you're all incredibly mentally exhausted at this point. The taxing of seeing demons so close, taxing of the mental taxing of just escaping, jumping off a 100-foot cliff, basically, with no knowledge whether or not you'd survive. And so sleep hits you pretty quickly. But if there's anything you'd like to do before you go to bed, let me know now.
I'm assuming we have like a watch schedule.
Ignore that.
Do you guys want to set up a watch schedule?
Yeah, we probably should.
Or
What
if
is
we've
it?
gained the level already and I have the spell slot, I'm going to create water for us to drink,
Oh, that would be lovely.
just to kind of get us hydrated before we hit the rack.
Okay. How much does create water create?
Well, it's up to 10 gallons, but it's within range of an open container. So I'm looking for a spot that could contain the water, some sort of natural depression, or cut out.
So sorry, you're gonna get the spell slot in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
out of spells then right now, so I don't have it.
Yeah, but you can do it first thing in the morning. Absolutely.
All right, I got nothing.
Dolphix is gonna like start preparing his little sleeping area, and then he realizes when he's looking through his stuff, like there's a panic in his eyes as he grabs his looks like a very worn, like battle damaged book, like leather bound book, and like half of it seems to be like burnt and frayed, like the cover's been like exploded off, and he's just like flipping through it and realizing it's like wet because they fell in the water, so now he's like trying to dry all the pages as quickly as possible.
And the air, like it's definitely not dry down here. It's not. Occasionally you get, like, you ran through areas that had a little bit more water than others, but more or less you've been like, the tunnels you've been running through have been dry. There's a slight humidity in the air and a slight cool chill, but it's more or less, yeah, it you realize that if you take some care of it, you should have no problem making sure it doesn't get, ruined.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna be so mean to waylay you tonight, but from now on, everything's on the table. You guys wake up in the morning, and so there's a couple just odds and ends I'm gonna need from you, and you can change this at any time. Let me hold on one second. Let me figure out where I want to do it. I need some marching orders, and based on what you've seen so far, I'm going to need marching orders for single file, 2 abreast, and then 2 abreast. That's really what I need. But let me figure out how I want to do this.
You want us to just do it in the open plain?
No, I'm gonna do it. Nope. Please don't move.
Sorry.
Please don't move. All right. I'm gonna move you over. I thought I had a page here. Like one. All right, I'm almost there. All right. Read blank page. Paste. Okay. So, put a grid on this because I don't see a grid. Do you guys see a grid on there or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see a grid.
I see a grid. I see a grid.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Not see a grid. Second. I really can't see it. Okay. Is the grid huge? Oh no.
No.
I really
It's like
for some
regular.
reason
Fits
for now,
the tokens.
yeah, it's not coming up. Okay. So here's what I'd like you to do. Here's your single file. This is the front. Your double file. This is the front as well. And I need you guys to place the others too. You can't place them, but just tell me where to put them.
Well,
I would say the drow goes in the front,
that's
right
what
in
I
front of
was
me.
thinking.
Yeah.
I would normally suggest that I could scout ahead, but I can't see a damn thing.
So we have Stool and Shushnar are utterly useless at combat.
I think we should have
Carry,
Eldreth bring up the rear.
Who?
Eldreth, the
Okay.
little dwarf girl, in the rear.
Okay.
I'll kind of carry Stool in front of me and
Okay.
keep it
I'll
with
move
me.
you back there, and then Shushnar in the middle.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
How about? So I need to duplicate you, I guess. Can I do that?
Is that possible?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
Ah!
Whoa.
fancy
You're
boy.
all cloned. All right. So for 2x2.
Do we feel
Alright.
like just kind of shifting that? Sort
Yeah,
of
I
same
think-
logic up.
Yeah.
So it'd be like
I think we have a strong front with
Where do you want?
Owl
Sarah,
and
front?
the guy in front.
Where do you
Shushnar,
want-
Then
Okay,
Will
Eldreth.
be in line with me.
Shushnar is in line with
Dolphix.
Solvix. Okay.
and then Stool can be next to me, and then Eldath in the rear.
All right. So I'm going to use this. You guys are welcome to change it anytime, but
Do we want to keep 5 feet between each rank when we're doing this? How do we want to do it?
lightning bolt.
Yeah, I'd rather us. Well, yeah.
Don't need a grenade to take out each of us.
Well, I kind of want us to stay together. I don't want any. If we do get hit with a fireball, then R.I.P. But
I mean, Drazzle's just going to slap a light spell on the soup bowl on his head, so he's going to cast a glow right there in the middle of the party. Should help out.
yeah, I just kind of want to stay close as possible for us, because I don't want anybody getting hit with some. Oh, look over there, and then nobody notices.
Maybe put the light spell in the interior of the bowl so you can turn it over if we need to douse it.
Do that.
I think
Good
Bye.
idea.
You smart girl. Girl, yes. Small girl.
That yes, I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
The smart part the smart part is yet to be decided, but the girl part is true.
Tell me, Jason, do you spend most of your time in shadows?
No, I've spent most of my time in very well lit areas, but I'm not uncomfortable in shadows.
one last thing I need from you guys. I will duplicate you again. So, this next part, there's a couple things you guys are going to have to do. It's okay, Sophie. Don't growl. You're going to need to navigate through this area. You're going to need to forage for enough food. If you want to cover your tracks, you can. If you want to keep an eye out for whatever, you can. And then anything else you guys want to do, I will tell you if it will require sort of full attention.
I'll put my.
I'm pretty good at foraging with my survival skill.
I think I'm not. I can't see anything, but I can hear well. So I'll assist Zom with. I'll listen for anything approaching.
Okay.
I will tap myself. Be good. Be better with a guidance spell.
Guidance.
For
Not going to
foraging.
do well for these long checks. Just to you role playing wise, that's fine.
Yeah.
But these are all day checks that you're going to be doing. So. Sareth will go up in navigation, but he could probably use some help.
I would like to learn a little bit about the navigation of the Underdark. Exactly what one looks for.
Eldath, you seemed keen to cover tracks. Is that something you feel you could assist with?
She says, I'm sorry, there is a party out in my hall. Can you guys hear it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but
So Eldeth says, I don't. That's not my specialty, but I can try. Certainly.
Maybe that's a good job. With Shushar, your perhaps
yes.
if foraging is your best bet, but covering tracks would help us avoid conflict, which seems to be your MO.
Shushnar says, I know this area well, and I have a little bit of a temperamental stomach. I don't want to cause the tummy rumbles to go on, so I think I'll stick to foraging. And Stool follows along with him.
Drazzle, you're assisting with foraging?
Yeah, I forage. I good with limbs.
And Dolphix, you were planning to assist with navigation.
Correct.
Vic, what would you like to do?
I gotta keep Eldath, give her some company here. So I'll try to help out with covering tracks.
So, fast forwarding a little bit, Dolphix, but just to do it now while we're talking about this specifically. Sareth says, since you wanted to learn, if you had the means of making a map, it may be helpful if I were not here. At least to navigate to the places you've already been. It might not seem like much, but in the off chance you get lost, a map of where you've already been might be the thing that saves you.
Does seem like a wise decision. Don't have any writing instruments.
What if we could etch it on the back of your shield or something?
Sareth says, we may have to leave this part out of your map, but I'll show you. We will find some Zerkwood and figure out a way. And so he's gonna show you how to make paper, basically. We'll get to that. But he's promising that he'll show you how to do that.
Gotta be
Zerkwood's
rich.
For now, for the short term, I'll give you my makeshift thieves' tools, which is a sharpened knife and fork, and you can use them perhaps to etch a bit of a map on your shield.
Okay.
Something rough, at least.
I'm not thrilled about defacing my property, but
I'll put it on the back.
we all must do what we must.
All right. So making a map is going to be pretty. I'm not going to make you make skill checks, but it's going to take you out of doing other things. So you're not going to be able to navigate with Sarah. You're just sort of like backwards navigating, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You guys can shift these. I was talking to Scott earlier. Some of you may have heard. It doesn't actually make much sense to shift these in any shorter duration than a day, just in how this is based. But if you, for some reason, you wanted to, that's fine. So the general idea is, as you're going along, Sarath is going to be doing the navigation. If someone wants to help him, they can. A group of you are going to be foraging. A group of you are going to try to cover your tracks to make sure that you're not leaving stuff behind. You're not leaving, whether it's footprints or whatever. And I will throw in that potentially laying false tracks as well. And then all of you will be sort of keeping a general eye out, i.e. passive perception. The two of you will be specifically looking out for things around. Is there any other general like roles that you guys can think of or want to take? These aren't actually in the adventure. These are just sort of they streamline this next portion as you travel.
Nah, I think I'm good.
All right.
I'm just looking for water sources and food sources. I'm really kind of hungry.
Yep. And I think Stool, maybe not Stool, Shushnard definitely, and Eldith a little bit, but probably Shushnar and Sarath are both talk about how like we'll find mushrooms, we'll be able to make things that from the mushrooms that can carry water, maybe be able to even make packs, like, but this is going to be something that is a little bit of a skill. But worst case scenario is you, for this first portion, you're basically finding things day by day. And then when you get to Slobodo, of course you can get things from there. So this first stretch might be the roughest. There's two parts of the day. There's sort of the travel part and then the camp part, the overnight part. I'm to meta this a little bit, not really meta, but I'm going to call for a navigation check after every long rest and every short rest. You could potentially lose your way, which will just make it more days until you get where you're trying to go. And midday, I will make forage checks, so you guys will make sure you can find enough food. And when you forage, you will see if you're successful, and then if you were successful, you'll roll separately for water and food. More or less, okay? And I'll narrate. Some of this is built-in narration. So, but so you wake up the next morning. And Sarath is the first one up, and you can see you're not even sure that he got much sleep the night before. He wakes up and he's very Jason, did you do that in Roll20 or did you do that in D&D Beyond?
D&D Beyond.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I had applied the condition in D&D Beyond when you reminded me about it.
Yeah, I didn't see it add then, but that's really neat that it does it now. So
yeah, so I had added poisoned before.
Yeah,
and if you ever need to,
right?
if you ever need to do that, on D&D Beyond, there's conditions. It's right under your hit points. If you just click that, it opens a side window and you can apply conditions.
Ooh, that's
Okay,
cool.
nice. All right. That's really cool. Thanks. And then I assume it does. Like if you were poisoned and you rolled a
It would
skill
apply
check.
the disadvantage, although I already have it set to roll twice all the time anyway. So
Nice. Oh, cool. I learned everything. So for those of you who are watching, we are using the Beyond 20 extension from Roll 20 or from between D&D Beyond and Roll 20, which some of us have some experience, but not all of us, and so it's interesting to learn.
I would say for anybody who doesn't have it set, I would recommend setting your rolls to always roll twice, because if you don't have advantage or disadvantage, you just take the first roll. But if you do have those, then it's already figured in.
Okay.
And you do that by clicking on Beyond 20. Type of roll is the second line down, and just click on the little menu on the side and click it to always roll twice.
Cool.
It streamlines everything if you're not having to worry about adding or subtracting disadvantage, advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone have that set or?
Yep, I got it.
Great. So Sareth wakes up. He's sort of staring at all of you, just sitting on sort of a rock outcropping. And you see him sort of. Those of you who wake up earlier, he's very excited to get going. Those of you who wake up later, you can see he's a little grumpy with you.
I wake up early, so I'm good. Like, let's get going. I share his anger equally. We both grimace.
All right. And so you set off. Everyone's good with spell preparation, all that stuff, I assume.
Yes.
Yep.
I do tell the group that if we do find any food, you don't have to worry too much about it poisoning you. I can purify food and water anytime I want to. It just takes me 10 minutes.
You know, I've been meaning to ask you about that zone. I noticed, you were real handy back there, back by the drow. You helped our navigator out. I always kind of took you for one that doles out the pain, not one that relieves it.
Well, for my tools, you know what they say about tools. If you don't take care of them or you don't use them, then, you just lose them. So.
It's a handy skill set that you have. I'm glad.
Speaking
glad
of
that you're among
tools, I'm going to put on the vest with all the pockets and say I do have 2 healing potions here. At the moment, I have the best way of carrying them, and I'm probably the most mobile, so I can get them to people if they need them. If there's no objection, I'll just carry them.
I look at you intently, and I say, sure, and I walk off.
Sarah, I don't see what you're so worried about. We got a whole team here. We're gonna stick together. We're gonna get through this. Those drow, they don't stand a chance.
I applaud your optimism.
Is it soup time yet? Who has soup?
Not quite.
So, yeah, I think you all realize that you are completely out of food and water.
I can make water, but I need food.
Well, Sareth, any food we can scavenge?
Lizard man, you.
Trade you food.
You, lizard man, folk, reptile.
Yes.
You're a cleric, right?
Yes.
And you can make water, right?
Yes.
I'm sure we both need holy water for some of the spells. Do you think you can
water,
pray?
we eat the weak. Who is small and no value. We eat them.
That, oh.
this
even
point-
Zom,
at this
even
point, we
Zom
all
was
have-
like, wait,
At this
wait.
point, everyone has exhibited some value.
You see Stool stiffen and pretend like Stool's not there.
I'm gonna cradle Stool, pick Stool up, and just be like, "Hey, don't worry about a thing." Yeah.
I was
Guys,
not
you know,
prepared for.
This is not a precedent I would like to begin with.
Particularly if we're starting with small as a barometer.
Agreed.
You choose. I make water, you make meat. Deal.
Why don't we wait and do some foraging?
Okay.
You know, there's some
Oh, the-
amazing things that the cooks in Waterdeep can do with just vegetables. I don't know.
That vegetable?
There seems to be a lot of fungus and mushrooms. I just don't know which ones are edible and what's good for us.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer not to dwell on the meals in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
All this looks completely awkward, and as a coping strategy, she tries to make it more awkward on a different topic. And she says, "Wouldn't it make more sense and be more efficient if we ate the biggest ones first?"
No.
Well,
Be
maybe.
big one, no water.
Well, not for now, because we don't have the means to carry the meat.
You try eat big one, you lose little one.
Something to
Sarah
think
is
about.
like, "What is that? You people, come on!"
Seriously, we can't be going stir crazy on day one. What is going on?
To be
Let's
fair,
get under-
it
let's get
isn't-
underway.
It isn't day one. I've been down here a long time.
Let's get underway and
Day
watch
one
for
of freedom.
food on the way.
Always clear. Let's move.
How I mentioned earlier off camera. So what is your pace going to be? So there are advantages and disadvantages to regular pace. Is just it's going to basically
But we need food.
at a regular pace, assuming you don't get lost, it'll take about 8 days to get to Sligo.
I went slow for food.
I have a feeling maybe it makes sense to go slowly at first because we can better hide our tracks, we can better forage for food and get our bearings. And once we're more comfortable, we can speed up.
Yes, I agree with that.
Seems like sound logic.
So then Sareth is going to make your Sareth is annoyed by this completely, and he makes the argument. Sareth says, "You're just inviting the drow to catch up to us right away."
If we move too quickly and we can't recover any food, we all starve to death and we don't escape anything.
Then move at a normal pace.
Oh, can we actually forage, like out of game? Can we forage for food at a normal pace?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You
then
get,
let's go.
you get lots of bonuses to things at a slow pace. It's just straight rolls, and then some things you can't do at the
Oh, I was about to say I would I agree with the normal pace now that I know that we can forage for food at a normal pace.
Oh, perhaps our navigator is onto something.
There's food where we go there fast. They need food today.
Normal pace it is.
So Sarah starts off at a fast pace, then sees you guys aren't keeping up, so he slows down to a regular pace. So I'm gonna make his.
That's good.
I'm gonna make his. I did a. Let's.
I would also like to point out in the morning, Dolphix was putting on leather armor and seemed very like at ease with his rapier.
Oh yeah, I
even though he
assume we
is-
all.
Yeah, he's like getting on in his years, but yes, he's
Yeah,
putting his armor on.
Jason also equipped armor and a couple of daggers and a whip and a short bow, and it's just a raid.
I think.
So, okay.
I think Vic also sees everyone kind of arming up and equipping. It wasn't something that necessarily dawned on him that like this is what you do, but he is going to take a cue from everyone else. Be like, oh yeah, of course, don the armor that he does have with him and equip his rapier. But, yeah, right.
So I think over the top of the oversized leather armor that Jaisa had been wearing previously, she's got other like shouldered armors and things that are all draped over it. You think maybe previously it didn't have much protective value until it's been reinforced.
Basil's just chewing on a piece of leather.
We all have use for leather.
Hell bent for it, even.
We'll go through these one by one. I would like, so I'll do Sarth's roll, and if you can't see some of these rolls, let me know, just to make, like, I've been changing them slowly, but if I missed them, let me know. So Sarth is going to make his roll for your navigation for the day. And I will not say anything. We don't have any rerolls at the moment, but in general, you guys can see that roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will let you guys say if you want me to re-roll it. We don't have any at the moment. So you unfortunately start off, and Sarth is not too familiar with this specific area of, and so you waste most of the day as he tries to find a path that he remembers and knows towards Slubadup, which is not a place he normally goes, or even the Dark Lake. And you see at some point, Shushnar says, "You're being too aggressive about this. Like, just get us to the lake, and then I can get us to Slubadup." And so, unfortunately, you don't do too well the first day.
Wrong way, good. They're not following.
Thankfully, for Sarah's sakes, none of us know that we're lost.
I would like the group of people who are on foraging to work on that. So Drazel, Stool, and Shushnar. That's going to be a survival check. Thanks.
Nice job,
nice.
Drazel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm changing whispered rolls. 1 second.
Drazel just went to the grocery store while hungry.
Hungry.
Ooh.
Shushnar is not really sure if you should kill fungus. And Stool, I think around this time, Stool comes into his own a little bit during Spore Chat. And he really is in many ways a 3-year-old, right? But when
soft bones.
I think Eldith is probably, Eldith. You hear a conversation between Eldith and Stool, where Eldith is like, "Stool, what do you eat? Are you not like?" She's trying to be tender, like, and touch around the subject, but she's really asking, like, "Do you eat your own people?" And Stool says, "Oh no, they don't have the glow." And you hear Eldith say, "What's the glow?" And Stool says, "The glow makes me me. I'm special." And you see him sort of bounce off looking for more mushrooms.
My mother used to say that too.
He finds a patch. So, here's what I need. I wrote all these down. So, Shushnar, I need you to do this twice. So one for water, one for not Shushnar, one to Drezel. Basically the same person in my mind. Drezel, I need you to do D6, and you can do that in roll 20 if you want. D6, then add your wisdom modifier. And
D6. My wisdom modifier is +3.
Stu will do the same thing. You're gonna do that twice.
9.
You got a 9?
I roll, it says D6, it says equals 6 on D20.
Where are you doing it?
I'm just looking at the little die roll in the lower left-hand corner. It says custom roll D6 equals 6.
So you did a roll there.
And
not
not
certain.
show- I guess it didn't show up there. So just do it in I'll take the 6. You're gonna do the second one though in roll 20.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
And the easiest way, if on the left hand bar there's
Yeah.
Okay. So your first roll was the 6.
Which +3 for wisdom would be 9. This
9.
would be 7.
So 9. Okay, got it. So you guys today find more than enough water and more than enough food, and in particular, okay. So what was your food roll? The first one, 6 plus 3, so 9.
Yeah.
So carrying over, you guys still don't really have a way to hold water, but you can hold a little bit of food. So I'm going to let you carry 2 pounds of food, just because it's like assorted mushrooms, and so like Shushnar has them like in his shirt, like trying to sort of hold on to them. So I'm going to let you carry 2 pounds over every day.
Okay.
So
Just
you're
gotta got my bowl upside down on my head, not carrying what I can carry.
If you do that, you're not going to have any sort of weapons in your hands. So I'm going to
Fine.
say that Shushnar, who's a pacifist, is doing this for you.
Also, I will just on because I don't trust these guys enough to give us non-poisonous food.
Mhm.
So I'm going to cast Purify food and drink as a ritual spell on the food and water that we
Okay.
grabbed.
I will allow that in the evenings.
Okay.
But you guys are grazing. Not like basically both Sareth and Shushnar and Stool are all telling you that they know this place well enough to like give you not poison you. Like they're like so if you were going out on your own, they're trying to teach you as you go about the different types of mushrooms around and what's good and what's not.
Right.
You're picking up food throughout the day. There's not like a set foraging time, and there's also not like a set lunch or breakfast.
I
So if
see.
you want to do it in
Okay.
the evening for like what the big meal of the day, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll do it for then. Yeah.
Okay. So what was I doing? I was talking about mushrooms. That's what I was talking about. So that first day of travel, as you guys are foraging,
Whoa, thanks for the jams, man.
I think Stool comes to you, Drazel, and Stool points out 2 specific types of mushrooms. One you see is it's A shelf fungus, so like it looks like shelves on a wall.
Oh.
And he sort of knocks it off. He like rubs against it, and it falls to the ground. And you see him sort of start to like eat it. And he pushes some over to you. And later during spore chat time, he calls it ripple bark. It looks to you, and this probably makes you like eat it immediately. Who knows? You can tell me. It looks to you just like a mass of rotting flesh.
Dead meat flesh, like tofu meat.
It is edible, very edible, in fact. And later during sport chat, he mentions that that it's even better if you can roast it.
Other people no like this. Yes, stool. Just you me eat. No one else eat this. Good for others, or only good for us?
He also points to you, like you, as you're walking through a couple puddles. I think the like Sareth and the group who are navigating, they don't pay much attention to what they're stepping in. But he points to a puddle that has like almost perfect spheres, like fungus that is growing in like almost a perfect sphere, and he pushes one out of the way, and he sort of nudges it towards you. Do you pick it up?
Stick my lizard tongue out at it.
It tastes very wet, very
Eat,
earthy, wet.
we swallow. You.
So you put it in your mouth, and immediately you realize that you can actually eat it. It's chewy, very, very tasteless. More importantly, though, it has like it just bursts in water.
Like
And you realize that it's probably a good water source. Later, he'll tell you that's called the water orb. And so
I shoot some of them into my bowl to keep them wet as we walk along.
So if you can find these types of mushrooms, and they like, I mean, they all, as they're talking, they tell you about all these different types of mushrooms, and I'll go through them as they come up. But basically, there's different types of mushrooms. They mentioned that there's mushrooms for food. There's mushrooms that can emulate leather. There's mushrooms that can emulate wood. And so some of this, you realize that, like if you can find some of this stuff, you could probably, if you had like the appropriate tools or the appropriate skills, you might be able to make arrows. You might be able to make small pouches, things like that. So, and then they talk. Go ahead.
Do a lot of kind of crafting as well.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Is that because of me? Because I have the ability to craft. If I can get some basic materials, I can craft shields.
Yeah, like when you're doing the long rests overnight, absolutely. I don't have a problem like with you guys crafting basic stuff. So
okay. So that'll be for tonight's long rest. I start looking for things I can gather up, maybe make a shield for some of my partners.
Yeah, you have not seen any Zerkwood, which is the one that seems to emulate wood, according to what they're saying. And then Trilomac is what seems to emulate leather. You haven't come across either yet.
Right.
So, you guys keep walking into the day, and it's really like it is hard. Like sometimes you're actually squeezing through things. Sometimes you're in caverns so wide that you can barely like you don't know where the ends of the cavern are. They're in darkness. You pass through areas that are in pitch blackness. For those of you who cannot see, what are you using to see?
I have a light on my head.
When Drazzle has light, I'm relying on that, but otherwise I'm actually going to close my eyes and listen and follow behind Zom.
Okay. Drezel, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I've got the light spell cast on my bowl.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
20 feet around me is lit.
Okay. Okay. So, occasionally you pass through areas that have sort of the similar fungus to what was around the prisons, or specifically in your prison, where it's just dim light. And so you're able to see a few things, but it's not great. If the cavern's wide, then you can't even see the fungus. It's so far away. But if it's a tunnel, then it illuminates some stuff. Later that evening, as you are about to Stool is just exhausted being a little guy. Some of you are as well. You walk into a small sort of it's a side tunnel, but it's basically like a cave. It's blocked off on one way, like it's easy to guard, things like that. And you walk in and you see something like absolutely amazing. The walls are glowing in a very different way from anything you've seen earlier. And you find yourself staring, because it's almost like if you looked at the glowing of this wall, like it would have some meaning. Like it's not quite to the point where it's moving around, or it's not quite like the Northern Lights in our world. Like, it is just beautiful and magical, and weird, like very, very alien. And Sareth sees you staring at it, and he says, you aren't the first to admire Ferriswitz.
Excuse me?
Who?
Ferriswitz. The energy in the walls here. You find it throughout the Underdark. It's unknown where it came from. But it can be quite useful. Sometimes it protects areas. We use it in quite a few of our settlements to do so. Sometimes it's just in a small patch like this, and he points around, and you realize that, like, as you go out of the tunnel, like where you are, the little cave area, it stops. And he says, sometimes it can go on for miles. And he says, makes it very hard to be found when you're here. Magical attempts, particularly, to find you or even to teleport to you, are going to fail miserably.
Well, that sounds super useful for us.
Is it useful to harvest it?
It's not. I mean, if you broke a rock off, it wouldn't then be. You couldn't carry it with you.
It's only in the walls.
Yes, and it's
Only as it's connected.
It's we elves, we drow. It is connected to our exile from the world above, although the story has been lost. And so we revere it.
So, not to interrupt, but Sith Lord Dave redeemed a social.
Oh, thanks.
Hey.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have 5 rerolls.
Nice.
Thank goodness.
And so
Time to do something stupid.
Stupid.
So you are settling down for the night. Is there anything you guys are going to do in your little makeshift campsite tonight? You have not come across of any of the mushrooms that seem to be wood, and you haven't come across the mushrooms that seem to be wood.
Vic and being in charge of covering tracks.
Oh, yes, sorry,
one
I
of the
completely
things-
forgot to.
Well, it's okay because it could get kind of tied up in this.
Nope.
So Vic, there's the physical tracks, but there are other ways to track. And so he's been thinking and trying to brainstorm how could potentially we mask our scents at nighttime. He's gonna get together with the stool.
Okay.
Having a little conversation. We know what it needs. If it needs, it must produce a little something. So Vic is like, hey, look, guy. This is going to be a real weird question for me to ask you, but your name's sake, can you produce any of it? Can I have it?
He looks very
Squeeze
perplexed.
you a little bit.
You see, he looks very perplexed. And then he doesn't have eyes, so he just sort of tilts his cap at you. He was very still for a minute. And we'll assume this during sport chat. And he looks up at you and he says, "Why?"
I'm hoping it's got some olfactory properties and, throw off the scents of any kind of hound spiders those drow might have, or maybe even dogs. I don't know what they got, but it could be something. You help me out, Stool. If you know that this ain't a good plan, I'm willing to throw it away, but I think it might be something here.
What's an old factory?
What's an old factory?
Some of us got these little. You see this little thing here? This is a nose. I'll explain to you what a nose does. It produces. It can take in things like sight. I'm not doing a good job explaining it to you, Stu. I'm failing you right now, but maybe you'll understand when you're older.
You might just ask. You might just ask Stool if he can smell.
Is olfactory sex? I was told that is something for older.
Similar.
Different kind of
Sure.
factory.
Different
Sex
kind of factory. I laugh.
Stool says, you hear Stool be like, Stool always likes hugs.
All right, bring it in, little buddy. Give him a little squeeze.
He says, "Owie!" Nothing happens.
Too
though.
much. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad plan.
No,
Hey,
mushrooms.
new plan,
Mushrooms don't.
Stool.
Mushrooms don't poop. They just grow bigger.
Hey, Stool. Can you help me find some Stool?
You need poop?
Oh, I should have just asked you first, Razzle.
Yes, Nick.
All that soup you ate.
I hate to be crass, but you are looking at, eight other humanoids that no doubt produced waste.
Yeah, somehow having it come from this little plant-like creature seemed like it might be a little bit easier to convince people to rub it all over themselves.
Although there is
Oh.
some wisdom in that, in a way, not that you have intended, but our own excrement will smell like us, so it wouldn't mask our scent at all.
You want me to poop on you? It's strange, but
no.
I can do.
I've heard tell of some strange parties. This is not the one I expected.
Man, Stool, I regret bringing this conversation up with you. It was just supposed to be a little private conversation, but oh my god.
You are in sport chat. We can all hear you.
Ah, damn it! Get out of here!
It won't matter. We'll still hear you.
Would you all shut up, please?
He what instruments do you have?
I have a lute, a dulcimer, and I thought I had something else. Those two.
Okay. So he walks over to your dulcimer, and Stool's like, "Is this a nose?"
No. That's an instrument. Different sense. And I'll tap at my ear.
Ah, nose. And he taps at the ear.
No, I'm doing a bad job of explaining this. And he's just gonna try to like educate Stool. Like he'll stay up all night and suffer the exhaustion if he has to. He'll go to all lengths.
The
To
only thing,
try to educate.
um, here, we'll roll a persuasion check.
Pick you
Based
up.
on your score, I will tell you what Stool learns out of this night.
Maybe I threw poop in different direction.
Right. So from your explanation, Stool has learned that people have noses, still a little confused about what they are. Has learned the word poop, which he now uses a lot. And let's see, he I don't know. I'll think of a third thing for Stool to have learned over the course of the night. If you have an idea, let me know.
Tomorrow
Child
night, Stool
requires
has-
proper education from a proper tutor. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
You'll have to.
Tomorrow night, I tell you, there's all sorts of different types of poop. I'm gonna blow
You'll
your
have to.
mind.
You'll have to teach him Paul's kobold poop song from Tyranny.
Wow.
The night, unless you guys want to do anything, the night passes without sort of problems. And I think. Oh no! Wait, hold on. I need all of you. 1 second. I need you to make a roll for me. Ooh, sorry, I totally don't remember what this roll is, and I don't have it written down. I'm almost buzzes. Oh no, it's I need you all to make a sanity check for me. So for those of you who haven't edited that score, it's just going to be a D.
Just a D20.
Mhm.
I have a D20 plus 1.
Am I just
Well.
rolling a regular D20?
Just roll a D20 and roll 20 and roll 20. Yeah.
I think my roll
Okay.
of the 5 is about to explain this idea that Vic just had.
18.
Okay.
We do have rerolls, Alex.
I don't know. I kind of want to see what happens with this one.
In
We
fact,
do have rerolls,
I might. I'll think about it, but I might disallow rerolls on madness checks or on sanity checks. So,
Yeah, this one sort of seems like it's maybe a little bit more fun to fail in some cases.
Okay. So, I think